Welcome to Your Dose of Wowness. We made it. It's day 35, and that means it's time for our big Week 5 recap. We're going to take the 5 modern mysteries we've dug into this week, and we're going to rank them, from the one I think is most likely to stay a mystery forever, all the way to the one that is closest, so close to being solved. All right, let's set the stage. 5 cases, 5 different decades, 5 different crimes, disappearances, and murders. Here is my ranking. And you know what? Come fight me in the comments. So, here's the game plan. We'll start with the coldest of the cold cases, then jump into the investigations that are still very much alive. After that, we hit the number 1 spot, the only case with an active search going on right now. And then, we're going to pull back and find the one surprising thing that connects all of them, before we wrap up with a little milestone celebration. You ready? Let's do this. Okay, we're kicking things off at the very bottom of the list. These are the cases where, let's be honest, the trail has gone ice cold. Based on what we know right now, these are the ones most likely to stay mysteries forever. And coming in at the number 5 spot, the coldest case of the week has to be the Zodiac Killer. So why is Zodiac dead last? Well, it's pretty simple. This case is basically locked behind a puzzle that no one can solve. The main suspects are gone, the evidence is 50 years old, and his name could be staring at us from a cipher, but we can't read it. But, and this is a huge but, there's the DNA. Think about it. We have stamps from his letters. The same kind of genealogical DNA tech that caught the Golden State Killer could, theoretically, pull a profile. It's a long shot, for sure, but a single hit in a database could end this whole thing tomorrow. And don't you dare think this is just a history lesson. As you are listening to my voice right now, there's a global army of codebreakers, academics, amateurs, you name it, actively trying to crack those last 2 ciphers. The hunt is absolutely still on. All right, moving up the list to number 4. Now, this one's a weird one because it's a crime where we have a really good idea who did it, but that doesn't solve the mystery at all. The Gardner Heist is at number 4 because the roadblock here is completely different. The FBI is pretty sure they know who the thieves were, so this isn't a whodunit, it's a where is it? After all this time, a lot of people think those masterpieces are either just gone, destroyed, or buried so deep in some black market collection they might as well not exist. And yet, never say never, right? There is still a $10 million reward on the table, and priceless art has a very funny way of resurfacing when you least expect it. Yeah, this case is far from over. That reward is live, it is unclaimed, and the FBI is still taking calls on this. Someone out there knows something. The only question is if they'll ever decide that $10 million is worth talking about. Okay, we're climbing the ladder now. We're moving out of the coldest cases and into the live investigations. These are the mysteries where things are still moving, where new information is still coming to light. And taking the number 3 spot is, oh boy, probably the single most debated mystery in American history. The JFK assassination lands at number 3 because it's a case that's basically at war with itself. You've got a mountain of physical evidence that points squarely at Lee Harvey Oswald, acting alone. But then you have the intelligence record, especially the stuff around the CIA, and it's just this giant, murky fog of unanswered questions. And here's the kicker. We still don't have all the pieces. There are documents right now that are still classified that could completely change how we understand what happened that day. And you can feel the urgency on this one. The clock is ticking, and loudly. You've got presidential orders to declassify documents, literal court battles happening right now to pry loose those last secret files, and, maybe most importantly, the last people who were there, the last living witnesses, are in their 80s and 90s. We're losing the human record. All right, here we go, the runner-up, the number 2 most solvable mystery on our list this week. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart vaults all the way up to number 2 for one huge reason. We might have found the plane. I mean it. A deep-sea team recently captured this incredible sonar image from the bottom of the Pacific of an object that is the right shape, the right size, and in the right place to be her Lockheed Electra. Just think about that. This case might be one single underwater dive away from being solved. Now, okay, let's pump the brakes a little. The counter-argument is totally fair. A sonar blip is not a plane. It could be a weird rock formation, another shipwreck, or just a glitch. Until a camera puts eyeballs on it, it's just a ghost on a screen. But that's what makes this so electrifying. That dive with a robotic vehicle, it's being planned. A single high-resolution photograph could pop up on a screen, and just like that, an 87-year-old mystery would be over. Incredible. And that brings us to the top spot, number 1. This isn't a case about sorting through old files or waiting for a new discovery. This mystery is different because it is the only one with an active, physical search underway. The number 1 most solvable modern mystery of the week is the disappearance of MH370. So why is MH370 number 1? Because it is happening now. This isn't history, it's a current event. While we're talking, there are autonomous underwater vehicles combing the floor of the Indian Ocean, guided by incredibly precise satellite data. It's not a question of if anymore. It's a question of technology and persistence. The counterargument, of course, is the sheer scale of the challenge. The search area is gigantic, the water is miles deep, and 10 years of looking has proven how hard this really is. It's like finding a needle in a haystack the size of a country. But that search is happening. A private company, Ocean Infinity, is out there right now with a fleet of these cutting-edge machines. They are hunting. And that relentless, active, physical search is what puts this case at the very top of our list. So that's the ranking. But what's the real story here? What connects a heist, a serial killer, a vanished pilot, an assassination, and a lost airliner? On the surface, nothing. But when you look closer, there's a powerful thread that ties all 5 of these tragedies together. And it always starts with the human cost. It's in the empty frames still hanging on the walls of the Gardner Museum, required by a will, a permanent, silent scream of what's been lost. It's in the heartbreaking story of the Zodiac's very first victims, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, just 17 and 16 years old, out on their first date. You can hear it in the voice of Grace Nathan, whose mother was on MH370. She spent over a decade just fighting for answers, trapped in this horrible limbo. You can see it in that iconic, terrible image of Jackie Kennedy, still in her blood-stained pink suit, refusing to change so, in her own words, they can see what they've done. It is in the quiet grief of people like Norli Akmar Hamid, whose husband was the co-pilot of MH370 and whose 3 children still don't have a grave to visit for their father. You see, the thing that unifies all these cases isn't a lack of clues. It's the exact opposite. It's what I call the last meter problem. In every single one of these stories, we have a trail of evidence that leads us almost all the way to the answer, and then it just stops, 1 meter short of proof. I mean, just look at how it breaks down. The Gardner heist. The FBI knows who, but they don't know where. The Zodiac. His name might be right there in 13 symbols, but we can't read them. Amelia Earhart. They found bones consistent with her, but then the bones themselves were lost. JFK. All the physical evidence points one way, but the intelligence record is a brick wall. And MH370? Satellite data tells us where the plane went down, but the ocean is holding it hostage. We are agonizingly close in every single one of these cases. That's the fight. It's not a lack of clues. It's that final, maddening meter. And that brings me to the end of this deep dive into something that's actually really important to me and to us. 35. For 35 straight days, that's 5 full weeks, we have dropped a brand new explainer. We have not missed a single day. And for that, I just have to say thank you. Genuinely, thank you. You are the entire reason this channel exists and why we keep going. If you're new here, first of all, welcome. We have 34 more of these waiting for you. Please subscribe to Your Dose of Wowness so you don't miss what's coming next. We post every single day. And one last thing, you've been sitting and concentrating for a while now. Stand up, stretch, take a real break. Your body does the watching too. Take care of it. Week 6 starts tomorrow. I'll see you then.